Obstetric fistula is a hole that occurs in a woman's reproductive organs, rectum, or even bladder, caused by prolonged labor. According to the MREF Health Africa, it is a condition that affects more than 6 million women in Kenya alone. In January 2019, Chantelle was diagnosed with fistula. What she had imagined would be a peaceful delivery turned into a painful experience. During her first surgery, the doctors discovered a third-degree tear, which then led to an unfolding of series and events with 3 different corrective surgeries ahead of her.
Called rectovaginal fistula, because I had assumed it was there's this bleeding that happens after birth. I assumed that was what was happening, that it was just, you can get a clot. I thought that was it, but it was brown and huge, and something was telling me, that's not what you think it is. So I bumped into the nurse who delivered my baby, and she had this look on her face. I was just like, oh Lord. And then she told me to wait for the gynecologist. She was going to come and examine me. So I happened to bump into her again on my way back to the room. And she told me, come, let's examine you. So they did a rectal examination, and she found out that, that's when she found I had fistula.
In spite of the pain, Chantelle candidly documented her emotions and struggles at the time for her social media followers. This for her was a way to let out her emotions while coping up with the condition altogether.
Okay, so at some point I was seeing a therapist because it was too much for me mentally. I felt like I had lost myself. And then physically it's very painful, and you start missing small things like being able to sit down or stand for long or walk in a mall. It's challenging, it's exhausting both emotionally and physically. And you can definitely slip into depression if you don't talk. That's why I guess also I'm so open online, because I'm letting off steam.
The recovery journey as well has not been an easy one. She has been faced with a lot of difficulties, noting that she's also a new mother.
You have to buy products to clean your wound, go to the hospital once a week for review with the gynecologist and the wound specialist. There's so many costs involved, so it's not necessarily cheap.
Despite all this, she enjoys being a new mother and she loves it. Her hope is to bring awareness to fistula as well as help women affected by it.
It's cute, it's very cute. It's not the nightmare that everybody says it is. Oh, you're gonna have a kid, your life is over. No, not really. I mean, definitely there are the expenses that come with being a parent. That's the only challenge I have right now, finances. But other than that, it's so nice. So, seek help, and then don't be afraid to talk to someone about what's going on in your mind. Don't keep it in, because you can just go crazy in a second. I almost reached that point. That's when I decided to see a therapist.
Fistula is an agonizing condition that is very prominent in the underdeveloped regions. It can be eradicated through education and improvement of maternal health care. We spoke to Dr. Stephen Mutiso, an obstetrician and gynecologist at Kenyatta National Hospital.
A fistula, obstetric fistula, is a severe birth injury which occurs when labor is prolonged, when labor takes days before the child is born. You find there's a hole which develops because the head is stuck in one point for a very long time. So you find a hole develops between the bladder and the birth canal, and sometimes between the birth canal and the rectum.
Fistula cases range from 1,000 to 3,000 nationally, majority of them being from the rural parts of Kenya. The Kenyan government has taken up several measures towards the fight against fistula, but a lot more can be done.
If a woman has a fistula, they should not be worried about finances. They can actually go to the nearest hospital and they'll get appropriate referral to a center which can actually repair the fistula free of charge.
It is important to know that fistula is both a preventable and a treatable condition. Wanja Githaiga, KBC Channel 1.